Hey guys, and welcome to my Reading the Spiderwick Chronicles in a day, or at least a couple of days, reading vlog. So seeing as it is Believe-a-thon, I was originally going to read two Skullduggery Pleasance books for the Poacher's Pocket in prompt, as well as the Bookkeeper's Stronghold prompt, because I could only do the two considering it's also Tome Topple at the moment. But then I discovered that there's also going to be a Skullduggery Pleasant read along happening in July, starting from book 1 and going all the way through, so I decided to leave reading those books until then. And so instead what I thought I'd do is read the Spiderwick Chronicles, because these are some of my favourite middle grades from my childhood, but weirdly I never finished the final book. I'm still not entirely sure why I didn't finish the final book. I just never finished the final book. I got like halfway through and then didn't finish, and I'm pretty sure it may have been because of the film, because the film kind of put me off. Because we all know that they shoved all 5 books into one film. They cut out loads, so that may have been it, I don't know. But either way, I want to spend today reading these. So the first two are for the Believe-a-thon, and then the rest just because I fancy finishing the rest of them. Because why start a series this short when I can finish it? So I'm going to get going. To be honest though, with these, I also remember barely anything about these books. Literally, I remember that there's twins and there's creatures called brownies. And that's it. I can't remember anything else. Oh, and the main girl gets her hair tied to the bed. And that's all I remember. Literally, that's all I remember. So, I can't wait to get into this. I'm hoping it kind of comes back to me while I'm reading this. But to be honest, it's been 13 years since I read these books, or any of these books. So, I'm interested to see what happens. But for now, I'm just going to start with book 1, which is this one, which is the field guide. And just go from there. So, let's get on with it. I'm currently 4 chapters in, which is 43 pages, and this is really good. And also, I was right about that bit. I completely forgot about everything and it's not coming back to me. That scene is literally the only thing I remember, and apart from that, I didn't remember the fact that Simon collected animals. I forgot that Mallory was a fencer. I forgot the lot, but I'm only 43 pages in so far, which is reasonably far. It's nearly halfway already, and I'm really enjoying this so far, I have to admit. It's not coming back to me, like I said, but it's really good and slightly creepy, and I really like that. It's really good. I remember liking these as a kid, but I didn't think I was going to like them that much as an adult, but at the moment, I really am. So I just finished the first Skullduggery Pleasant. I just finished the first Spiderwick Chronicles book, and I really actually enjoyed it. I couldn't remember much, like I said, from when I was a child reading this, which is weird considering I was obsessed with these books when I was a child, but I still really enjoyed it. It was kind of creepy. I liked the mystery elements of it and how things all got revealed. I really love the illustrations throughout this as well, because if I can find some, I mean, there's one in the middle. I love that there was also bits like this, so it's actually a photo of like the written letter that the children find. I love the map in this, and just the full, I love the full-page illustrations, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And what I forgot about this book is that it's sort of like supposed to be sort of like a series of unfortunate events, in the sense that this is an author telling the story that the children have sent Holly Black, which is such an interesting idea, and I really like that. It made it feel a lot more real than it already did feel, and I just really enjoyed it. Also, can I just say, I love the fact that on all of these, the back of these books, the blurbs all covered by various bits of leaf and writing. I think that's really cool, and I really enjoyed this first one. I'd say I'd give it about a 4 star, and I'm now really excited to continue. I was a bit nervy going into this, but I am really excited to continue now. So the second one that I'm going on to is The Seeing Stone, and I'm not really going to say much. I'm just going to go into it. Again, I remember nothing, so this will be fun going into it. So I just finished The Seeing Stone as well. These books are going really quickly. I'm finishing them in like half an hour, 40 minutes at a time, so that's really good because I planned on reading these in a day. But I've got to admit as well, I love the little sort of rhyming poemy bit at the back that sort of tells you what creatures are coming next. I really like that. I don't know, I just really like those kind of ideas at the back, and I just really like the drawings as well. They're so simple, but they're so detailed at the same time. And also, I just love all the little bits you sort of get throughout this of like the stories of the previous Spiderwicks. So this time there is a newspaper article about the disappearance of Arthur Spiderwick's older brother Theodore in 1885. And I just really like those kind of details throughout here. So you're sort of getting the Spiderwick story as well as the children's story in the world of fairy. It's just really good. I really enjoy it. And now my phone's going off, so I'll probably have lunch now. So yeah, lunchtime, and then I'll go on to the next three. I have to say though, this was a brilliant idea. I am loving reading these books so far. So we're now on to Lucindas Secret. This is the third one, so I've only got this one and two more to go, and then I've completely finished it. I'm surprised by how much I'm flying through these books, but I am really enjoying them just as much as I did as a kid. I think they're a bit simplistic for me at the moment, but in saying that, I'm still really enjoying them, so I'm going to carry on raring through. Also, quickly on the back of this one, the blurb is again covered by another letter, so I really like those types of things. And also I am loving the front cover of these books. I really do love the front covers of these books. So I just finished Lucinda's Secret and just found 2 tickets to see Happy Feet from 2007 in the back. I don't know why they're there, but they're in the back. I don't even remember liking Happy Feet. In fact, I hated Happy Feet. I don't know why they're in there. I've genuinely no idea why they're in the back of the book. Not a clue. In saying that though, this was a really interesting book as well. It's really building on the lore now, going into elves and Fuka and stuff like this, and not just brownies and boggarts and trolls. I really quite like that about this one, because it sort of opens the world out more and gives you a bit more on Arthur Spiderwick himself. I will say though as well that I really enjoy that this book isn't the same basic story in every single book. Like obviously they have to go into the fairy world and deal with some kind of fairy in every single one, but it feels like it's always building and it's not entirely predictable, which is what I feel like with quite a few children's books of this size, of this era. It kind of felt like each book had a very similar plot to it, and it was just sort of like they just changed the names for a couple of the characters and everything else was just basically the same thing, whereas this one feels a bit different and more like a series from now, I guess, and I really appreciate that. And now we're on to the Ironwood Tree. So this is the 4th one, and this one doesn't have any sort of blurb on it. Not that I've been attempting to read the blurb whatsoever, because I'm just going into these blind. I can't remember this one. I haven't read it. I haven't like remembered anything from any of these from my childhood whatsoever. I remembered like the basic thing, like the goblin camp, and I think I remember the fact that Arthur Spiderwick's still alive, but I only remember that from the film that I watched like once. Apart from that, I remember nothing. I literally remember nothing. So this is sort of like reading it for the first time, which I'm also really enjoying. Just finished the 4th one, and I definitely do not remember this one at all. I remember the previous 3, I remember bits of the previous 3, but this one completely blank. I'm sure I read it, but I can't remember it to save my life. So I'm on to the final book, which is The Wrath of Margarethe, but I keep on calling it Margarethe, and I have done since I was a kid. I don't know why, I just do. But this one as well has actually got a blurb on the back, which is, actually no, it's not even a blurb, it's just saying that it's a thrilling children's story. So there's still no blurb on the back, but a little bit nervous going into this one. So obviously, this is the one I didn't read. Oh, I part read. I didn't read the whole thing. So that's a little bit nerve-wracking, but I'm excited. I don't usually read this far, so can't wait to get going. And now my camera battery is flashing at me, so that's fun. So I just finished The Wrath of Margarethe, and I must admit this wasn't my favourite of the books. I think the ending happened a bit too quickly. Like, they defeated the villain a tiny bit quickly and a tiny bit simply. I guess I would have liked to have seen a longer fight, but in saying that, it was a really good wrap up of the series, and I still quite enjoyed it. I liked how things ended because it wrapped up quite a few things and made everything okay in the end. I just think that final fight could have been maybe a little bit longer, you know, just a couple of pages or something, maybe a bit more scary, maybe a bit more like, oh god, are they actually gonna win? But I do understand as well that this is on the younger side of middle grade, so it can't be too complicated or too complex. Other than that though, it was a good time. Also, while I was reading this, I did also realise that the map is actually different in this one. So the map, if I can find it, because there's too many pages. Where's it gone? Here we go. The map here is now Margarethe's domain, and everything is labelled differently to do with Margarethe. So instead it says to humans up here instead to town. You've got Margarethe's castle instead of the quarry, or no, the junkyard, sorry. Guide location instead of the Spiderwick house, and stuff like this. So that was quite an interesting one. I also found this as a bookmark on page 76, so that must have been where I stopped last time, which is really weird because they're in the middle of a battle with dragons, and that's for some reason where I stopped. And I don't know why I used this either. This actually held a pin which was the Robot Wars logo, because I was a really big fan of Robot Wars when I was a kid. So I apparently used this as a bookmark. I guess it's better than Happy Feet tickets. I used weird things as bookmarks as kids, apparently. And with that, I've actually now finished this series, and I think out of the lot of them, I think I preferred the first two the most, because it was quite mysterious and it was sort of like just getting things going, and I think I preferred these two. Not to say that the rest of the series wasn't good, but I think I preferred the first two more. But that could just be because I read these two the most as a child, because I don't remember reading these three more than once, or just halfway through, but I do remember reading these two a couple of times, if I remember rightly. In saying that though, I did like the story, I did like the characters, I liked the fact that we had the female character of Mallory was the one who was the fighter in all of this. I liked how the kids sort of interacted with each other and had their own issues. I love the drawings in this, I love the maps in it, I love the drawings, which I've obviously shown you in a couple of shots. And it was just generally a really good time. I've got to admit, I did enjoy this series and I'm really glad I read it. And I think I'm going to give all of them 4 stars. Maybe this one 3.5, but everything else is definitely a solid 4-star read for me. But with that, I'm going to wrap it up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below with what you thought of Spiderwick when you were a kid, or the last time you read it anyway. And also tell me down below if you'd like to see any more of this, because I quite enjoyed doing this vlog. So if you want to see me do more, please do let me know down below. I'll also leave a link down below to all my social media if you want to check out. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here. Over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, guys, bye!